Greetings, everyone! Welcome to Records of Evil, as we get off of being sidetracked. Sorry about that, we were getting sidetracked, don't worry. The conversations were not important, probably, to you guys. Anyway, you're here for a Lawful Evil D&D game. We're returning to our cult, as they've been building, Cult of Asmodeus, as they've been building their power base in the modern city of Calimport. Of course, we'll kind of check in with our characters as we kind of normally do and see how they're doing, post a lot of their adventures. They went back to the old ruins of their old cult, back from when it was the normal D&D fantasy time period before they were put in stasis for a couple thousand years, and found some artifacts there. And they also recruited a bunch of, murdery individuals to their cult. That's a good way of describing them. Murdery. New friends. But how about Therzee? How's Therzee doing, Jess?
Well, Therzee likes the pizza guy, because now she's gonna get coupons.
Advantage.
And, what was his name? The guy that likes to feed his victims to the pigs. He likes the pigs. And
Bob. Bob!
Bob really likes cakes, and he's very eloquent through text.
Yes.
So, you know, we're on okay terms.
Mm-hmm. And it was Travis, the delivery man.
Oh, good old Travis.
Yeah.
Travis and Bob.
Bob likes cake! Jinxx, how's Mishka doing?
She's good. She likes the new recruits. She does also really like Travis and Bob. And the hitman guy?
Yeah, Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus. She's a little iffy on the lady.
Robin.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, Robin, because she seems like she wants to marry and then immediately murder them. And she's not quite comfortable with that. She's also just been reading whatever books they have, so they try to figure out something with it.
And then, Wyrm, how's Versel doing?
She's doing good. She kind of liked the, I think it was the pizza guy who was, like, who did the fighting.
Yeah. Everybody likes Travis.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most reasonable murderer of them all. He's more like, look, I just did it for money and fame.
He's got a code.
Yeah. He's got a code. Money and fame.
Hey, he said he won't murder children. That's a code.
Or women or something.
Well, I think it's like whoever participated in the tournament, basically, that he was in. So he's
yeah.
Like, mm-hmm. But, so yeah, in the last episode, if you missed it, our group recruited these 5 individuals, led by Malachus, who was this creepy guy that you learned is an IT. And you decided to continue to build your cult before going and dealing with the Naga, which you did research a little bit. Of course, they did find in the ruins an undead Naga who has an amulet that they want, and will, with their help killing a bunch of Yaun-Ti, he'll give it over.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the plan?
For building a cult?
Yeah, what did you guys figure out, folks figure out over the,
Yeah, so I basically just looked up how building cults work, or how cults work in general. Funny enough, they're actually, what makes a cult is actually a very common thing. It's just generally we don't refer to them until they're called cults, as cults until they're weird. But anyway, basically, the way you do it is by just getting by doing a lot of things, and basically just getting extra. It's actually funny because it's like target extroverts, and it's like okay, but basically you just get a lot of people to you create events, get people to talk about you, get other people to invite people to events, and then probably the thing that's most important to this is you have to have like certain points. But yeah, so so I was thinking the basically mission statement of the cult or whatever, basically just what our goal is basically just to help Asmodeus take over the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what we're doing. And then our kind of motto is repay evil with evil and loyalty with loyalty.
Ooh, nice motto. Yeah.
That can go on the little Twitter handle of the cult Twitter page I made.
Yes.
Yes. I called it something else, but I can't remember what it was now, and it was hilarious at the time. But this was like so many. I don't know. It was so many episodes ago. I made a Twitter joke. In your modern fantasy world. We'll figure it out later. I'll come up with something more clever again. Probably. Judging me,
it might be the same, and we won't know.
It will either be the same or it'll be less clever, and no one will know. I'll pretend it's just as clever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you will spend some time, continuing with your job, building some basic fundings. You're not going to be saving up a huge amount, but you could probably put together an alright amount of savings for any kind of plans or trips that you need to make, and therefore also be able to take off from work for a while and keep up with the apartment too. And in the meantime, you will continue to try to recruit and build the cult. And things will go alright. With the help of the 5 you got now, you can grow a few other generalized, disenfranchised members. The cult isn't huge, it's certainly not the size you had, but you can find a couple of folks that are, like a couple dozen folks easily over the next couple, like, let's say like a month, that will seemingly be work within your cult. I mean, I'm assuming you're not just taking anybody, because that can be, like, not great, but you'll probably take most folks.
I mean, don't take cops, but yeah.
Don't take the authorities. Or folks that seem like they will be, like, destructive to the cult.
Yeah, the destructive ones are allowed to follow the Twitter, but that's as far as it goes. They can just retweet us, you know?
Yeah. Also, who was the one who worked on IT again?
Malachus.
Yeah, Malachus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get him to teach me about computers. If possible.
Anyway, so you can probably find out some things about computers from him. You'll kind of like develop your relationship with each of these folks to kind of getting an idea of what their roles are. If you needed any kind of major direct cult-related fundings, you could probably get Robin. Marcus could certainly eliminate any problems that you'd have. Malachus has technical issues and certain other skills which might be useful. Bob has his farm. He makes some really great bacon. Mm-hmm. And
his mother's very sweet.
His mother is very
That will
sweet.
be useful when we start making enemies.
His mother, if you would meet her, he's surprised she's alive. She like at first you see her, she looks like one of those like corpses that Norman Bates' mother, but then she moves a little bit. And you're like, "Oh God, she's alive!" Oh, is she undead? No. Oh, okay.
Some moisturizer.
Yeah. So yeah, Bob's mom's just a little dilapidated, and Travis knows his way around the city. That's for sure. But after a while of building the cult, we come back to the problem of.
Found a new type of undead. The not dead.
Just Bob's mom. The new type of undead, Bob's mom. So, what are you gonna do when it comes to the Naga? As soon as you kind of like reach that point where you feel like you gotta turn towards that at some point in time. You can't just cult build forever.
Yeah. I mean,
you could.
2 or 3 months, but...
Yeah.
So, we found based on what he referenced, where the cult he hated was, right? Or the specific Yaun-Ti that he hated were from?
Yes. You did find out that it was one group of Yaun-Ti that you had dealt with. You traced their origins to... God, I have to remember it all now. Give me a minute. I think it was like Serpent Hill, I believe.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
It was something around there, at least.
Yes, they originally were from there. You know that, like, the doctor would have, the Serpent Hills. Her probably origins, the professor, come from Serpent Hill area. But you also know that the clans of the Serpent Hill weren't just one. And when you did research, you did notice that a number of them eventually did move. Some of them remained in the area as, more modern days came and things got more peaceful. The Serpent Hills were always... I would describe them as more peaceful than some of the other areas, just because it was kind of in the middle of other territory. You had to, like, make a lot of deals, unlike when you're in Chult. But a number of them did move back to Chult after some of the certain events that had happened in history. You found out that the bloodline you were looking into, you could probably trace some back to the Serpent Hills, but you could also trace some back to Chult. And, your choice at this point in time, how you want to deal with it, you can either head towards the Serpent Hills, which is certainly more settled. Researching it, it's in the middle of the Faerun proper, and Faerun proper is kind of like modern-day Europe. There are some spots that are still wild, but they are far and few between, and there's a lot of cities, and a lot of settlement. So
here's my thought.
Okay.
If we do go to the Serpent Hill, sorry, you can get...
I was just going to say that Chult was like the Amazon. You have some big settlements, but then you also have a lot of jungle.
Mm. So if we need to go up towards Waterdeep anyway, we could just bring the Naga along and stop by Serpent Hill.
And hope to find what you're looking for?
Yes.
Find
bringing
some...
him to bringing him to Chult would be way easier.
You'd have a higher chance of finding probably what he would classify as his enemies.
Yes. We could throw him at any Yaun-Ti settlement in Chult. Or we could try and take him to the one that he specifically hates. Farther away.
But the thing is, again, the one he specifically hates, you do know that some of them are in Chult too, so it's both locations. The bloodline traces back kind of both, just because of like traveling and splitting. And you know that there was a smaller Yaun-Ti settlement originally from the Serpent Hills in Tether, and that's where it originated from. But that they've spread out, The original settlement does exist there, so that's nearby, and they are connected directly with the people from I'll say the clan of Yaun-Ti. I don't know the exact term for like a group of sect of Yaun-Ti. Sect. We'll use sect. That sounds good because they're very religious. Often. The sect of Yaun-Ti that originated from Serpent Hills that he was talking about, they're the ones that settled near Tether originally, but there was a small number of them. Eventually, more came in from various locations, and so that bloodline was muddled. But you're not sure if it was the ones from around Tether or the ones from Serpent Hill that created him back in the time of your cult. Because both have that connection to the same sect of Yaun-Ti. In modern day, if you trace that sect, again, you have remnants of them in Serpent Hills, remnants of them in the Tether area, but the Tether area, as I said, it's muddled bloodlines. Like, it became... Because the Tether one in a war became more connected with the actual Tetherese people and found a lot more peace, a lot of Yaun-Ti refugees from other areas that were probably more liberal ended up coming there. So that's, that's your... God, I don't know how to describe it. Like, what's a good, like... it would be like, early America, religious freedom, except in this case it's, I want to worship my horrible snake demon god in probably a slightly less evil way. I'm only neutral instead of neutral evil.
Yeah.
The god's like, do a little bit more evil. Like, no. We'll stick with the neutral part of all this, buddy.
Semi-evil. We're not gonna go all the way. It's gonna cause a mess.
We can sacrifice farm animals rather than people. Rip out the beating hearts of pigs instead of humans.
And technically, those pigs contain a little human, so really, you're getting a bit of both.
Well, nowadays, if you go to Bob, yeah, that's, And then, of course, a group of them did eventually move back to Chult, from the Serpent Hills, which... Yeah, you have 3 leads for the same bloodline, and it's... Who do you want to try to get a Naga to murder is the problem. Because the Naga wants to go on a murder spree, and wants your help to go on a murder spree. Like, I will tell you, if you're looking for a murder spree, Chult is probably the easiest place to get away with it. It's the Amazon. Tether's probably the most difficult. The Serpent Hills happen to be in an area that's a little more, I would call it, like, backwaters. It's near the High Moor, which, there are settlements there, but it's not as settled as, let's say, like, directly to its west, where the main tradeway was, the old tradeway, which still exists, just now settled. And the areas in between Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep, which are very settled. It's... High Moor I would probably describe since it's more swampy. It's like, the bayous of Louisiana. There are people there. It's just not easy travel. And it nests...
Where's Tether?
Tether is just to your north of Calimsham. It's literally the country to the north of yours that you're currently in.
Okay.
Followed by...
Oh, there. Gosh, that's why I couldn't see it. Okay.
Yeah. And in the Weldat...
Sorry, the map I'm using, it
yeah.
just has it, like, written over, like, a very large area, and since it's so few letters, it's, like, it totally just did not stand out. And the Yaun-Ti settlement there was in the edge of the Weldath. So when the humans and elves combined against the invading forces, the Yaun-Ti gave up an army too, and finally got off the shit list of the humans and elves that lived in that area, and have been since. Well, perhaps we could bring up these options. Okay. Perhaps we could bring up these options to the Naga herself. Was it a him or a her? Do we even know?
You don't know, actually.
Skeleton.
I said him, but because they could be either
skeleton.
gender, it's kind of like...
Yeah.
I thought about that too after I said him. I'm like, it could be female, I don't know. I actually hadn't decided because of the skeleton.
Yeah.
It's just a skelly snake, man.
Oh, can it lay, like, skeleton eggs?
No.
More skeleton snakes.
That would be interesting, but no. Are you sure you want to get that thing options? You might want to kill all of them. Remember, it's on a vengeance quest.
Good point.
Maybe go for the most remote but easiest to get to option, so we'll round up between them.
Yeah.
At least then we know he's not gonna,
Well,
just
from,
carry on going city
murder
to
all of
city.
them.
from some basic research, the northern area in Tether, it's closest, but that's probably the least out of the way. The forest has some pretty good settlements. There's a large elven population there, along with the Yaun-Ti there. So that sounds like, they'd probably notice things a lot easier in that area. Serpent Hills? Maybe you get a little luckier on there. I mean, if you're looking for
Serpent Hill.
out of nowhere, there's the, that's Chult. But that's always been out of nowhere.
Serpent Hill seems like the worst option, as it's the moderate of... It's moderate in it's moderate in civilization and population, but farthest away. Tether is the closest, yet most risky for being found out. Chult seems like the best middle ground in that it's not too far away, but also not populated.
That sounds like a good sort of middle ground to go for. We can always go check it out first before we take the Naga with us. How are we gonna bring it with us?
That's also a good question.
Do we know anyone with one of those like vans?
Big crate? I mean, we gotta take a boat still. The bridge isn't done.
Oh yeah. I hate
Yeah,
boats. I always
will
get
Shipping-
will it be
container?
okay? Great.
I mean, surely it's
I feel
intelligent.
like it might
enough
kill
to
us
shut the
instead
fuck up.
if we do that.
I feel like it can't swim, so like worst comes to worst, we jump overboard.
I guess so.
I feel like a skeleton is just kind of gonna sink.
I mean, it's, from what I've looked up, it's, like half a day's journey by, ferry from Calimport to, to Mezro.
Driven, any of our fellow cultists maybe have like a small boat that we could fit a container on? Instead of having to take public transport?
Well, if it's personal, we probably wouldn't need a container.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
true.
doubt it would kill us if, on a trip when we're trying to help it. We could ask around. Yeah, so that's I guess we'll
Ask if anybody has a boat.
ask if anyone has a boat that they'll be willing to
Or
either.
at least access to one.
If you ask around in your group, I will say Robin certainly has a boat. She has a yacht.
That's
That is far more than we need.
Marcus probably has access to like a small fishing boat. Not really big, but he probably spends some time relaxing while fishing, just as a side hobby. When you're not in the business of murder, you're in the business of fishing, apparently.
Well, there's also the general cult member who might have access to a cheap boat rental.
The there's probably, like, Thomas, who has, like, a motorboat. You know? Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, you know.
Yeah.
There's always someone, like, that's part of the reason building up a cult. It's kind of like a moderate connection tier. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can call up Robin and see... Or, okay, do we want to go... Who do we want to contact first? Robin, who... with the yacht?
Marcus.
Very well.
And technically, the place you're going to is New Mezro, because the old... you probably remember in your history, Old Mezro was destroyed during the Spell Plague. So... people still call it Mezro, but actually on the map it will be New Mezro.
Yeah.
You know. Built on the ruins of the old city. Yeah. If you would have looked up the basic history of it, it became ruins filled with undead and monsters, and for a while it was left like that, eventually until a powerful group from Kalimsham Tether decided to rebuild the city, with some help from the people of Port Kaglastar to the north, reclaimed the city, rebuilt it, etc., etc. Bigger, stronger than ever.
Castigar?
Fort Castigar. Port Castel... Is that fort or port? It's port. It's just north of Mezro.
Yeah, it's Port Castigar.
Yeah.
I think you're seeing an L where there's an I.
Is that G-L-I-A-R, though?
I see Castigar.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna Google that.
Words.
Yay.
Okay, it's Castigar.
Oh, is it an L?
Yeah. G-L-I-A-R. They're probably... The thing is, like, my map is very tiny on even, too, so I'm like... And they could have made a mistake. So I just... At least...
It looks like they forgot... It looks like they've... Whatever this was, forgot an L. Anyway. Yeah. But, doesn't matter. I don't even know why. It's just I saw a discrepancy and I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we could talk to Marcus.
Okay. Sure.
Who's calling him? I don't like elves.
You're right. I mean, I guess I could. Question.
Okay. So you call up Marcus. Who needs to be eliminated?
Oh. Well.
Technically, a lot of people.
Yeah, you don't have to do the eliminating this time. We were just kind of wondering if we could borrow your boat, if you have one.
What need do you have it? Are you going fishing?
We're traveling to... What's the place name?
Chult.
Chult. We're traveling to Chult.
Mezro, specifically.
Mezro.
I don't think my boat would have enough fuel to get that across the bay.
Oh. Well, thank you anyway.
I think Robin has a large-scale boat that travels enough of a distance there.
Yeah, I suppose we'll have to ask her then.
Yes. Mine's an old clunker. Doesn't get very good mileage. It's not very fast either. If you're looking to go fishing, it'll help you with that.
Keep it in mind. I guess we have to ask Robin.
Oh no.
I like how everyone's like afraid of her.
It feels like if we open up too many conversations with her, she'll get the wrong idea and try to kill us.
I mean, that's not... Well, okay. That's not why she kills, but anyway.
Okay. But I feel like she'll try to get there, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think it's more if we ask too many questions, she may kill us.
That's exactly.
She just makes me a little nervous. It's a lot of rings.
Unsafe.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'm calling her that.
We're all just too nervous to say it.
But she's
Hello,
so
Robin.
friendly. Yes. What can I do for you? No, honey, I'll be there shortly. Don't worry. Oh. Sorry.
You see?
I'm just with one of the local cabana boys.
We need to,
Not husband material, mind you, but for a good time. I could introduce you if you're looking. I'm sure I could find someone of your disposition.
I am good for now. We need to, bring something to Mezro, and we heard you have a boat that might be, able to get us there.
Oh, so you need a boat, do you? Well, yes, I do have a boat. Perhaps it could help you.
Okay. Is there anything you require of us to allow us to borrow it?
Let me see. Well, I did feel like picking a little bit of an exotic trip to Mezro. What was your name again? Oh, I'll just call you Jim. Jim, would you like to go to Mezro? Oh, lovely. Let's leave this afternoon.
We will, get things arranged.
Excellent. I could use some fresh chocolate. The freshest chocolate can be found there, or at least the freshest cocoa beans. I'll bring my personal chef. Jim, you'll come along, yes? And bring, what's his name? He's Patrick now. Jim and Patrick, yes.
No way.
We may need to, board our, cargo a bit discreetly, however.
Yes, I'm sure.
Thank you. And I probably get the dock number.
Oh yeah, I should let you know.
and-
It's down in the port. In probably some of the area where people have private vessels docked, more than the business side of the port.
Okay. Now we have to figure out now. I just didn't think this through. How to get a Bone Naga to the port.
It's like morning, and you have to go get it and bring it back by this afternoon.
Apparently.
Where exactly even is it?
It's
Front of the caves.
it's like a couple
Oh, is
it's
it
like
still
a
at
it's
the
like
caves?
yeah, it's like a couple hours into the it's like an hour or two into the desert.
So you got the time to
Yeah.
do it, just, you don't have access to a vehicle, normally.
And I don't think we can take it on a bus, can we?
I mean,
I'm gonna text.
you don't know?
Considering
I mean, we
we're
might be able to,
swords.
but I feel like we might be liable if it kills someone, and I
Yeah.
don't want to.
I mean, if we get potentially arrested, Therzee does have a gun
It's true.
that she's used once.
If you want to look into it, a quick search, undead citizens do exist. It's just normally because undead tend to have a lot more emotional problems, we'll call it. They tend to have at least a registration, and they aren't a normal thing to occur. They have a registration with the local government. You have an unregistered undead. He has not.
Yeah, no, that's why.
Yeah. It's like,
That's why I'm saying if it kills someone, we're probably the ones who are liable.
it's like,
For
people
bringing
that
it
have
into the-
horrible mental trouble usually have to, let the government know before they do things. It's the same way for being undead, because murder and life force sucking.
I'm gonna text Bob and ask if he has a big truck.
Why,
I
yes,
feel like
I
he might
do.
have one for the kids.
I have one for transporting the porcine.
I forgot how cordial he is in text.
Indeed, if you would need use of it, I could. Unfortunately, it's a little difficult to handle. I could drive for you to a location as needed. Do you wish for me to pick you up?
That
I
would
wasn't
be
quite
excellent,
busy.
Bob.
I wasn't. I was a little busy, but I can come a little before noon, perhaps.
Does that leave us enough time?
Probably, as long as you can get that snake in a pig truck really quickly.
I mean, I expect Bob speeds.
Hey, Zarin. There we go. That's the name. Brain.
Yep.
Would you be willing to fly ahead and inform the Naga of our arrival?
I guess I could do that.
I'm probably. I'm like. You can tell I'm a little nervous about asking this because emotionally unstable Naga, tiny imp.
It's not an impossibility for me to, go and visit it, I guess.
I feel like you're small enough to where if he tries to bite you, you'll fit in between his teeth anyway. So there's that.
How reassuring.
Yep.
Perhaps, actually, I could take or one of us could take a bus and inform it and get it ready, and then the rest of you can arrive with Bob with the truck.
I think
That
that
could
should work, yeah.
All right. So you're attempting to go on ahead too? What are you taking, like the bus out to the desert? What's your plans?
Or we could do 2 people. Actually, might be better.
You could try and get a taxi directly to the...
That's true.
Yeah, I think-
You could get a taxi probably to the dig site or to just north of the dig site, along the highway.
Yep.
Get out.
Which one of us are going to the desert?
I feel like I should deal with Bob.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should be with the Naga.
Yeah.
Because I'm the
So I guess
priestess.
I'll go with you.
Which is better, Bob or a Naga?
Technically, Bob is better, but I think 2 of us are going to the desert. So I guess I have to.
I'm honestly far more worried about the Naga killing someone.
Yeah. I guess that's a valid concern.
Very well.
I'm gonna get on and bake some quick cookies or something for Bob.
Okay.
If you get any texts that are nonsensical assume we are dead.
Okay. So if I get a voice message of you just screaming, I'll know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Same applies to you if I'm even.
Who's Zirin going with? Is Zirin going with you?
Zirin can pick.
Okay. Zirin will probably go with you to the Naga.
Poor Bob.
Mm-hmm. So it's just Therzee and Bob right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See, the thing I'm more worried about is that we'll be mad that we really haven't done that we haven't like talked to in a couple months. It's just like, we'll get back to you. Leave. I mean, we could have technically gone back and said something, but I would be too afraid that it would get pissed off and kill us.
Yeah, I feel like if we didn't go with good news, there would be no good news for us.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
Hurrah! Alright, you'll get a taxi, you'll head out to the desert, of course. It'll be a bit of a journey, not too bad. You'll easily be able to then, you know, pay the taxi off and be dropped off. He's gonna be like, "Are you sure you want to be out here, kid? This place looks dangerous."
Very much so.
Mountain climbing or
We know what we're
something?
doing.
Well, I think there's that archaeological site on the other edge of the mountain, so if you need help, I'm sure they're close enough. Keep an eye out for them
Yes.
snakes and cats and stuff.
The cats are our friends.
We will yes, we will, yeah. We will be keeping an eye out for snakes.
Very good idea.
Well then, good luck to you. He'll drive off then, leaving you on the northern edge of the Memnon's Claw. Of course, I'm assuming you'll head for the cave, past the area where the cats used to live, but they were scared off and now they found a new home. Or it's been long enough that maybe they're out with the young hunting now. But anyway, and through the back hole of the cave that was once filled with centipedes, you will find a Naga, who has, you will just find the area littered with the like, remains of what looks to be the centipedes. Some of them still have the rotting flesh within them. Remember, there was a lot of other tinier centipedes in that place? They're all dead now.
Good.
Nope.
Fuck those centipedes.
Yeah, we didn't like them anyway.
Oh! Like, as like this like huge serpentine face is just like right in front of you as you kind of crawl through the tunnel and come out. It's you. You returned. Have you found my prey?
Yes. We have found the cult has retreated across the sea back to Chult. And we have organized a way to bring you there.
Excellent. How is this way?
Well, soon there will be a truck coming, and then
what?
we will... it's kind of like a, construct that, runs off some sort of, blackish liquid. Anyway, that's beside the point. It,
Strange.
It is-
You have a construct under your whims, but you needed to raid an old tomb.
Well, more of a connection. Also, these things aren't very capable without direct interaction.
So weak.
But great for transportation.
So like an ox that can drag your cart. I understand.
Exactly.
It might not be the best for fighting, but it is good for dragging.
Exactly. And then we will have to discreetly bring you to Calimport, where we have a boat waiting for us.
Excellent. As it kind of just sort of like slithers around the room, kind of like circling around you two, kind of like crawling along the walls, and very creepily just like, you know, like waiting and watching. In the meantime, Therzee, you'll hear the truck! Keep it down up there!
Grab a little tray, and I'll answer the door. I bought cookies.
Cookies! Mother! Happy!
Oh, I'm glad. Come on, let's go. We're on a time. A schedule, whatever. Ugh, this is all fucking shit. Let's go.
So it's gonna be like one of those trucks with the extended cab. So like, you've got in the back seat, you can see like, with like, double strapped in, is Mom.
I'm gonna hand her, I'm just gonna put a cookie.
Double strapped in.
Yeah, so it's like got like the two straps across her to keep her like steady. It's like, you know, she's like skin and bones and kind of like, you know, like turns her head like slowly and creepily towards you. As like,
sometimes I can feel her breath on the back of my neck.
Move tools! As it like take like a couple of like you know, like a large pole that has mysterious red stains on it, like a machete that has mysterious red stains on it, an axe. You know, he's just gonna like kind of like throw them in the back of the pickup. It's like one of those like pickup cabs too that has like a kind of like a sort of like caged top over the back of it. So that, like, he could throw... It looks like you could probably throw some pigs in the back, you know, and have them that they're not climbing out over the side, you know?
Yeah.
I have a very distinct idea of what this looks like.
And it smells very pig.
Yeah.
The thing is old, is beat up, but, like, you know, he revs it with this kind of, like, vroom, vroom. It's got, like, deep kind of, like, rumbling. And... he's like, as you sit in, he'll, like, point to, like, the seatbelt, like, SAFETY FIRST!
I'm on it. Click it in.
It's double straps. It's like the harnesses you get, like, in a, like, race car that have been installed in a truck.
Oh, God.
You also noticed there was, like, some spikes in the front of the vehicle that looked kind of decorative, maybe?
Huh. I like those. They look nice. You did a good job.
Good for dealing with roadkill!
Ah, yeah. I could see that.
Like that, but spikier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give Bob some directions and...
Alright, so Bob will drive all of you, you and Mom, out to the desert. Yes.
I'm gonna turn on the radio and find a song that me and Bob both like.
Mm-hmm. He probably likes something like Poppy, you know, like,
yes.
Dancing to the 80s!
I like sing-alongs with Bob.
Mm-hmm. At like some point in time, you'll be at a light. You'll hiss, "Ah! Yes, mother! No, mother! Not girlfriend!" Beef for dinner! Yeah, so you'll head out of the city and eventually make your way out to the desert. Kind of, definitely his truck could make it out into the desert, so you'll turn off-road. And there aren't a lot of, like, actual off-road places, so it'll definitely be kind of bumpy. He'll take it a little slower as he moves over to the area where the cave is on the side of the claw.
And probably around, probably like an hour after when he said he would arrive, we'll probably bring the Naga down.
Mm-hmm.
Or when he said he'll arrive at the other place, or however long it takes.
Yes.
Like, try and time it out.
He'll, like, get the back open, he'll check up on the truck to make sure everything. He'll have a small conversation with Mother. You will have noticed that
By the way,
cookie was
did we ever
gone.
ask the Naga's name?
No, you did not ask the Naga's name, I don't think.
We did, I didn't write it down.
I don't think I wrote it down, so I don't think you asked.
Well, I would ask it in the meantime.
Good call. I'm gonna butcher pronouncing this, so I'm just gonna throw it into chat here. It is Zalshi. Zalhi. Zalhi. Oh, whatever. Snake name.
Jalhi.
Yeah.
Probably Jalhi.
Yeah. Shali.
Jali.
Yep. So,
Snake name.
snake name. So, before you upload the snake, why don't we take our first break here, because we are going to be ending a little early. We're ending around 12:30 today, just letting everybody know. So this is probably a very good time to do so. So we'll take our break. If you need a bathroom break, snack, drink, anything like that you quickly have to do, we'll come back in a little bit, and they'll upload the Naga and head for their yacht they've arranged to get. Mm-hmm.
We're uploading it to YouTube.
The Angel is the name of the boat. The yacht.
The Angel of Death, more like. I feel like that.
Look, she probably inherited her from one of her many husbands. So she probably
Now
didn't.
she can throw the others off of it.
Uh-huh. Well, look, she's got her men toys there, as she's probably courting another husband somewhere.
Oh, yeah, she is bringing her men. Oh, is she getting rid of her husband in front of us?
Well,
No.
these are cabana
They said that they
boys.
weren't-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they said they weren't husbands. She's probably wooing some.
She's probably wooing someone while having sexy time with these guys. With both of them.
Ooh.
Anyway, so be back in a little bit, folks.